Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Today I would like to share my thoughts on Noise Floor by Spock's Beard.
Yesterday I was feeling right as rain. Numb to all the pain. I made my choice, but then yesterday the bottom fell right out. The curtain dropped. For some reason stood up to shine. Take a left, the fork in the road. Forget what you think you know. Straight from the core. So yesterday I needed to leave, despite the wasted years, but not without a tear.
And this is their 13th studio album. It's also the third with vocal and guitarist Ted Leonard, and the 11th with longtime member Nick Dervilgiero on drums, who came back just to play drums on this album. So he's not a part of the group, he's just guesting on it. You have the core members of Alan Morris, Dave Meros, Ryo Okamoto, and they all shine on this album, especially Ryo. And they still combine to create a very unique sound that no other band seems to do or emulate, in my opinion. While the album is very melodic compared to some of the previous stuff, it really allows them to demonstrate that they have retained their own identity despite everything that's happened in the past. There might even be more immediacy in the melodies and the hook, especially when you compare it to the last album, The Oblivion Particle, which was a good album. It was definitely more prog influenced than this one, but this one is definitely more of a pop vibe to it, which isn't a bad thing because they pull it off. And I don't want to compare it to the way Steven Wilson's To the Bone is, but in the same aspect, they've pulled something off and it works. And quite predictably, the album's production, as pretty much everything right back to the beginning, was stellar and very immense sounding and very well produced. It has the same time, nuances, and power and clarity and depth as well, but it also has quite a bit of aggression. There's a lot of passion in this album as well, and quite a bit of sensitivity to which you don't get a lot from a prog group, especially somebody of Spock's natures. You know, since Neil Morse left, they've lost a little bit of the element, I think, but it's definitely back on this album. And to me, every note and every word are declarations of a very masterful album, right from start to end. The album is broken down into two bits, namely the Noise Floor album, which has got 8 songs, and then they have what they call the Cutting Room Floor, which is a separate CD that comes with the vinyl. The vinyl is 2 discs and it's got all the songs on it, but the CDs are broken down into 2. I'm going to do this review on the whole package. I'm not going to break it down because I think that's silly, because I think the songs on that bonus disc, for the most part, are just as strong as the stuff on the album. Alright, let's dive into the songs. Now, the album opens with a great song, and it's called To Breathe Another Day. You can check the video out on YouTube. It's kind of a silly video. I think it was just kind of thrown together just for the sake of having a video. There's nothing that special about it. The song is really good, mind you. And right off initial listen, you are aware of immediate declaration by the band that they have no intention of allowing their prog throne to be assumed by pretenders. It's a very, very passionate, very driven song. It's got some great hooks to it. It's melodic at parts, and it is undoubtedly Spock's Beard's return. And it just makes what made me feel that all is well in the world, that we're back with this album and we're not going anywhere. We're right in your face again. And that to me is great, because that's, you know, it's been a while since The Oblivion Particle came out, so this is a good, you know, we're back, guys, let's go. The second song is a song called What Becomes of Me. And this one is got the most massive Dave Meros bass riff ever. That Rickenbacker he plays on it is, oh, just, it's so thick and so juicy. It's, that alone makes that song special. I mean, he's one of the most underestimated bassists, not only in prog, but I think in music in general. Little tidbit of Dave Meros, he also plays with Iron Butterfly as well. I was only made aware of that a couple of weeks ago when I was doing a little bit of research on him and listening to some interviews. So that's fascinating in its own right. Other than that, the song, it's typical Spock's Beard. You know, there's not a lot of difference in it. I would say it's one of the weaker songs on it. But like I said, that bass riff from Meros is spectacular, and check it out just for that alone. All right, we come to the third song, and this song is called Nobody's Home. Now, this immediately, upon hearing it for the first time, was and always is going to be the high point of this album. This song is filled with some very heart-stirring melodies and just about anything else that any prog fan could ask for. Nick Delvegio's drumming is particularly tasteful in this song. He doesn't overstay his welcome. He makes it his own, but he adds so much emotion to it. Alan Morris's lead solo on this is the best lead solo I've ever heard him do. He's got a really unique way of doing things. He doesn't use a pick. So if you ever see live videos on him, just check it out, because a lot of the time he just picks it with his fingers, and it's really neat. And after Somebody's Home, we have a song called Have We All Gone Crazy Yet? And this is a return to their prog roots, definitely. It's got some very unique melodic folk strumming guitar that sounds very reminiscent of a Jethro Tull to me. Some captivating vocal switches between Delvegio and Leonard that contrast to make the both vocals sound even better. They really play off of each other, and it works here very much. The verse and chorus are spine-tingling, very gut-wrenching stuff, and the resulting composition is as good as anything in Spock's Beard's vast catalog. You do hear a lot of Kansas and Styx influences in this song. Once again, we have Ryo Okamoto putting his touches, furious, tortured keyboard parts all over it, and it's a highlight of his on the album, definitely, as well as Alan Morris. He is known for creating very unique electronic guitar sounds, and he does it so well on this song. In my opinion, this will eventually be recognized as one of the best songs in their whole category. It's definitely one of my favorites on the album. It's not my top 4, but I would say it's in my top 5, and I hope they do it live, because I think it would be a great live track. It's a grower, maybe that's the why I don't appreciate as much as some of the other ones, but I can see the potential that this song has, and I know it will go down as one of the best in their catalog for sure. Coming up next on the album is a song called So This Is the Life. And boy, when I first heard this song, I immediately thought of the Beatles. It's got a very distinct Beatles feel to it. I'm sure anybody can pick that out upon first listen. Other notable things to this song is it has a very beautiful guitar harmony and lead parts. And you can really hear some David Gilmour influences on this album, and the solo as well in the song. It's a great song, and for any other band, I don't think they could pull it off. Spock's is really good at taking other elements other than prog, whether it's just, Beatlesque or even Black Sabbath and some of their stuff. You do pick some of that up stuff too, the heavier stuff. But this is par for the course for Spock's Beard. It's one of the things they excel at. Right, following So This Is the Life is a song called One So Wise. And this starts off with an Okamoto Moog riff that brings the listener right back to where he or she belongs. This is another one of those return to prog forms. Let's call it prog nirvana, because that's what it is. His sound on this song, Okamoto's, is classic Spock's Beard. Once again, we have Dave Meros come in with that really tasty, really big bass, and again, he really needs to be praised for the type of player that he is, and he does not get the recognition he deserves. And this is just another example of why he should be recommended, or not recommended, but this is another reason he should be recognized for sure. And this, the chorus on the song is probably the most empathetic statement that I've ever heard in a Spock's Beard song. And Ted Leonard sings it, and he makes it his own, and he makes it something very special. And that's something Spock's Beard does so well. Again, they make everything their own. I just think to all the generics musics out there that doesn't have any emotion, but it takes a whole bunch of farts to really show you how to do it. And this album would be a good textbook in that, I believe. All right, now we come to a song called Box of Spiders, and this is one of two instrumentals in the package. And it's a very complex song, and this one celebrates all it is Ryo Okamoto, and is also clearly Spock's Beard as well as we know them. All the little quirky arrangements, all the odd time signatures, the tortured but aspiring drumming, the massive instrumentation, and of course the frantic keyboarding playing of Ryo Okamoto on the song. Just, I think back to Kamikaze from X, and the song is right up there. It's completely all over the place, but it's at the same time it's what a listen. The tightness between Okamoto and D'Virgilio are very astounding. It's amazing. You can definitely hear that they are comfortable playing with each other, and that they obviously have played with each other before, because they can feed off each other and they know what the other person's going to do, and it really shows here. And even on this song, Alan Morris's guitar solo it fits the song so well. It's very quirky. It's almost a little bit terrifying sounding. Like, it's a little offsetting, as so is the song. And they really know how to do that. The boys really torture their instruments on this song, and it's a fun listen right from start to finish. Check it out, because it'll blow your mind. It really will. It's that good. All right, the last song on the Regular Noise Floor album portion is a song called Beginnings, and this is my favorite song on the album, hands down. It to me is what is important about Spock's Beard, past and present, and hopefully in the future. It all kind of meets here. It's a very suspense-filled description of a man that's experiencing a new dawn, a new life, whatever you want to call it. It's a layered ballad, and Ted Leonard's vocals on this song are so beautiful and so heart-wrenchingly perfect and rightfully timed. The melody is just, wow, it completely blows me away every time I hear it. I will never get sick of the song. It's just that kind of song. And to top it off, he has a bit of a trade-off, Ted Leonard, with Alan Morris and Nick D'Virgilio, and it really harkens back to some really classic Spock's Beard, and I think that's why I love the song so much. Okay, now let's go to what they call the Cutting Room Floor, which is the last 4 tracks on the album and is the second CD of the CD set. The first song is a song called Days We Remember, and it's a pleasing and simple enough ballad. It's not a real complex track. It's like I said, it's a simple ballad, and it sounds a lot like it's got some early Styx influences in it as well. Like I said, it's nothing memorable, but it's a decent track. All right, and following Days We Remember is a song called Bulletproof. And it is also a ballad, but this contains more of the rousing chord progressions, variations of soaring choruses associated with Spock's Beard that we're used to. And it is another highlight on the album. I kind of thought maybe they could have included it on the standard noise floor, but I think like the rest of these other songs on this Cutting Floor disc, they don't quite fit the mold. That's why they're probably left off in the first place. Coming up after Bulletproof is a song called Vault. This is a Ted Leonard composition, and it's quite a dark piece, and it's probably the most darkest song on the album. And it's based on a stunning Alan Morris guitar and 7/8 timing, as you'll definitely hear. It's an excellent song. It's very slow, and it feels very tortured, and it is highly emotive. And it's definitely another highlight of this bonus disc. But once again, I don't think it fits into the context of the album. And rounding out the songs is another instrumental, and this one is called Armageddon Nervous. It's still Spock's Beard at their instrumental best. It's not as crazy or as ambitious as Spider's Box, but it is definitely a song that will grab your attention when you hear it, as is the whole EP. Now, to me, Spock's Beard's chief weapons are surprise, innovation, excitement, and melody, and they are on this album with massive, massive force. And even after all the years that they've been together, they still can pull it off. And in fact, I think they may be even stronger at that today than they were previously. So long live and prosper. Sorry I had to do it. Spock's Beard and all that, Star Trek. But this is a great progressive album. I'm not going to say it's an essential one to your collection, but it's definitely one that if you're a serious music fan, especially of progressive rock and more not synthetic pop, and even pop, you should check this album out. Anyways, thanks guys. I'm going to give it a B rating, and I'll just show you the album here really quick. Okay, so there's obviously the front cover. Quite a different cover too. I'm still not sure about it. I don't dislike it. I just am not sure if it. Whatever. It's just me. And there's the back of it. And open up, and it's a gatefold with all the lyrics. And that's just the accompanying CDs that come with it. Nothing special there. Anyways, guys, thanks for your time, and I've enjoyed this, and we'll talk with you real soon. Take care of each other. Good night.